thousands in attendance, and the millions watching at home. This is generally the beginning to WWE, which is the current top pro wrestling program in the United States of America. Now, generally when I bring up professional wrestling, people either think it's MMA or UFC or something like that. This is not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the fake pro wrestling, in which it is all scripted. And by that I mean, it's made up beforehand, but they are still hitting each other a little bit. And the word for that is kayfabe. And kayfabe means it's fake. It's scripted is a better word. That is what people would say. As you can see here, we have Muhammad Ali actually involved in a professional wrestling match. And again, you're going to have two people in the ring usually for a professional wrestling match. And you're going to have a face and a heel, but we're going to get into that later. First of all, professional wrestling started in the early 20th century, in the teens actually, before a lot of guys got sent off to World War I. And back then it was a shoot, and a shoot means that it is real. Like back in the early 20th century, all of the wrestling moves were real. There was no scripted, they weren't going together. They weren't doing anything together except knowing that they were going to get in the ring and fight. It was an awful lot like MMA is now, but you didn't tap out. You had to actually say, I quit, I tap out, and I'm over, I'm done with it. This guy beat me. But then, sometime around the 20s, they started doing what is known as a work, which is a worked match, which means they're working together. And as you can see here, things got pretty silly in the 70s and 80s, but it was called a work. And that is what actually all professional wrestling is now, is a work. And then you're going to have those two people in the match, and as I was saying earlier, those are going to be a face and a heel. And a heel is by far my favorite character. The heel is generally a guy you're not supposed to like. Like as you see here, this is Kane. He was supposed to be kind of evil. He was the Undertaker's brother. So the heel is a guy you're not supposed to like. He'll generally insult the crowd, make fun of the face, and the face is actually short for baby face. And baby faces are the golden children of pro wrestling. They're going to be your Hulk Hogan's, your John Cena's, all those guys like that. They're going to be the guy that you want to win more than anything. And but that is, you'll have the heel beat them badly the first time, and then everyone will be like, oh, I want the face to win next time, so more people will buy tickets, more people will come, and the company will make more money. And that works pretty much everywhere the same way. A place where things are a little different is Japan. In Japan, they have a lot of different rules, because in America, in the WWE especially, you actually cannot do a pile driver anymore due to risk of paralysis or death. But in Japan, that is one of the primary moves. And as you can see here, they kind of have it more of a shoot environment too. They want it to look like an MMA fight, even though it's pretty obviously not, at least to Americans. But they think pro wrestling is real over there still, for the most part. And both places, well, a little less in Japan, the moves are fake because when you get punched like this, and they stomp at the same time. They're pulling punches. So it doesn't really hurt, but you have to act like it does, and sometimes they do connect. And a lot of moves, power bombs, suplexes, all these things actually hurt. They're not trying to hurt you, but if you get picked up 7 feet in the air and dropped, it's going to hurt no matter what. And all that stuff is pretty normal, but yeah, also in Japan, the count-out rule is not 10 like it is here. It is actually to 20. So that lets them get a lot more stuff in, a lot more tables get gone through. Some outside of the ring pile drivers happen, which not good on the neck to most people, but that's why most people don't do them. And finally, a lot of MMA fighters, which again, MMA and pro wrestling are not the same thing at all, but a lot of them have switched over either way. And one of the more recent ones was actually Brock Lesnar, who is in fact my favorite pro wrestler ever and my favorite MMA fighter ever. He actually won the national championship at heavyweight in NCAA, which is like real wrestling, amateur wrestling. Went into the WWE, won the World Heavyweight Championship there, and then after he quit the WWE, in the same year after he quit the WWE, he won the UFC Championship. The only person ever to win the UFC and the WWE Championship within the same year. So, in conclusion, pro wrestling is an entertainment spectacle, more like the circus than anything. It's not really a sport. But anybody from the age of 5 to 95 can enjoy the complex storylines and interesting characters. And don't let the fakeness bother you. We might be out for the 1, 2, 3 count. Ding, ding, ding. Get it.
Nice job.
There you go, Junior.
Here's the intro.